My people, no more waiting for others' mercy. I vow that Burkina Faso will build Africa's first pharmaceutical giant with Canada, healing our continent with our own hands.
Imagine a world where Africa no longer waits for help, where its people don't beg for medicine or depend on others to survive. That world is here, and it's starting in Burkina Faso. On a historic day, Burkina Faso signed a massive $50 billion deal with Canada to build Africa's first giant pharmaceutical industry. This isn't just a business agreement, it's a revolution. It's a bold step toward health independence, economic power, and a future where Africa heals itself. Let's dive into this incredible story and see how it's changing the game for Burkina Faso, Africa, and the world. Imagine a world where Africa no longer waits for help, where its people don't beg for medicine or depend on others to survive. That world is here, and it's starting in Burkina Faso. On a historic day, Burkina Faso signed a massive $50 billion deal with Canada to build Africa's first giant pharmaceutical industry. This isn't just a business agreement, it's a revolution. It's a bold step toward health independence, economic power, and a future where Africa heals itself. Let's dive into this incredible story and see how it's changing the game for Burkina Faso, Africa, and the world. For too long, Africa has been seen as a patient, waiting for vaccines, waiting for medicine, waiting for mercy from others. But no more. Burkina Faso is standing tall, saying, "We will make our own medicine, with our own hands, for our own people." This partnership with Canada isn't about charity. It's about respect, equality, and building a future together. It's a signal to every African, from the villages to the cities, that the future is not imported. It's built right here with dignity, strength, and pride. Let's break down this exciting moment and what it means for every African. This isn't a small factory or a one-time project. It's a game changer. The plan includes state-of-the-art factories to make medicines, research labs to create new drugs, and training centers to teach young Africans how to lead in science and healthcare. This deal is about creating a future where Africans no longer wait months for life-saving drugs or rely on foreign aid. It's about producing vaccines, antibiotics, painkillers, and other essential medicines right here on African soil. President Ibrahim Traore, the bold and visionary leader of Burkina Faso, stood up and declared, "We are done waiting. Africa will heal itself." His words have sparked a movement, inspiring young people across the continent to dream big. This partnership with Canada, a global leader in innovation and healthcare, is a perfect match. Canada is bringing its expertise, technology, and resources, while Burkina Faso is providing the vision, leadership, and determination to make this dream a reality. You might be wondering, why Burkina Faso? Out of all the countries in Africa, why did Canada choose this West African nation for such a massive project? The answer lies in Burkina Faso's bold leadership and unstoppable spirit. Under President Ibrahim Traore, Burkina Faso has taken huge steps to transform itself. In just the past year, the country has nationalized key industries, invested in education and research, and pushed out exploitative foreign interests. Burkina Faso isn't just asking for help, it's demanding respect and building partnerships based on equality. Burkina Faso is a land of opportunity. It has the vision, stability, and resources to lead this pharmaceutical revolution. President Traore has made it clear, this is about sovereignty. We will not just be consumers of foreign medicine, he said in a powerful speech. We will become producers and exporters of health for Africa. This bold vision caught Canada's attention. Canada, known for its advanced healthcare systems and cutting-edge research, saw Burkina Faso as the perfect partner to bring this dream to life. This partnership is also strategic. Burkina Faso is located in the heart of West Africa, making it an ideal hub for distributing medicines across the continent. With its growing infrastructure and focus on renewable energy like solar and biomass, Burkina Faso is ready to host a pharmaceutical megacity that will serve not just its own people but millions across Africa. What's being built? A pharmaceutical megacity. Let's talk about what this $50 billion deal is actually creating. This isn't just one factory, it's an entire ecosystem, a pharmaceutical megacity that will transform Burkina Faso and Africa. Here's what's included. 300 state-of-the-art factories. These factories will produce billions of doses of vaccines, antibiotics, and other life-saving drugs every year. From malaria treatments to HIV medications, these facilities will make medicines tailored to Africa's needs. Research and development labs. These labs will focus on creating new drugs and improving existing ones. African scientists will work side by side with Canadian experts to develop solutions for diseases that affect the continent the most. Training University. A new biotech training university will be built, co-managed by Canadian scientists and African academics. This university will train the next generation of African pharmacists, researchers, and health engineers. Distribution hubs. These hubs will ensure that medicines reach every corner of Africa, from bustling cities to remote villages. No more waiting for shipments from faraway lands. Job creation. The project is expected to create over 250,000 direct and indirect jobs, from factory workers to scientists to truck drivers. This means more money in the pockets of everyday Africans. This megacity will be built across several provinces in Burkina Faso, using local resources and talent. It will run on renewable energy like solar power to keep costs low and protect the environment. This isn't just a project, it's a vision for a self-reliant Africa. What does this mean for the everyday African? Imagine going to a hospital and finding affordable, high-quality medicine made right here in Africa. No more waiting 6 months for a vaccine shipment, no more relying on expired or counterfeit drugs. This deal is about making healthcare accessible to everyone, no matter where they live. Here are some of the ways this project will change healthcare in Africa. Cheaper medicine. Drugs made in Burkina Faso will cost up to 60% less than imported ones. This means families can afford the treatments they need without breaking the bank. Better availability. Rural hospitals and clinics will have a steady supply of essential medications. No more empty shelves or long delays. Faster response to crises. With emergency drug reserves, Africa will be ready to tackle epidemics and health crises without waiting for foreign aid. Safer drugs. Locally produced medicines will be regulated by African authorities, reducing the risk of counterfeit or low-quality drugs. Social media is buzzing with excitement. Hashtags like Africa Heals Itself and Burkina Rising are trending as people celebrate this new era. One user posted, "No more shall African children die waiting for shipments from faraway lands. We shall produce life here in Burkina Faso." This is more than just medicine, it's hope, dignity, and independence. This deal isn't just about health, it's about building a stronger economy for Burkina Faso and Africa. The pharmaceutical megacity is expected to contribute 18% to Burkina Faso's GDP within the next decade. That's a huge boost for a country that was once overlooked. Here's how it will drive economic growth. Jobs for Africans. With 250,000 jobs created, families will have steady incomes, and young people will have opportunities to build careers in science, manufacturing, and logistics. Export power. By 2030, Burkina Faso is projected to generate $12 billion a year from exporting medicines to other African countries like Mali, Niger, and Ghana. This will make Burkina Faso a key player in global trade. Local growth. The project will spark growth in local economies, with new housing for workers, tech parks for startups, and better roads and transport systems funded by the Burkina Faso-Canada Health Corridor. Reducing dependence. The industry will cut Africa's reliance on Western pharmaceutical imports by 45%. This means more money stays in Africa, strengthening local economies. Burkina Faso is on track to become Africa's pharmaceutical capital. From dusty fields to high-tech labs, the country is turning dreams into reality. And it's not just Burkina Faso that will benefit. Countries like Kenya, Nigeria, and Rwanda are already lining up to buy medicines from this new industry. Canada is known for its world-class healthcare system, cutting-edge research, and commitment to global cooperation. But this partnership isn't about Canada coming in to save Africa. It's about two nations working as equals to achieve something extraordinary. Canada is bringing its expertise in pharmaceuticals, biotechnology, and training, while Burkina Faso is providing the land, resources, and bold leadership to make it happen. Canadian companies are setting up joint ventures with Burkinabe partners to develop medicines that meet Africa's unique needs. These include antimalarials, HIV drugs, and vaccines for diseases that still ravage the continent. Canadian scientists will also help train African pharmacists and researchers, ensuring that the knowledge stays in Africa for generations to come. In a powerful statement, Canada's Prime Minister called this deal a landmark for global cooperation. He emphasized that this is about empowering Africa, not controlling it. Unlike some past partnerships with Western nations, this deal respects African sovereignty and focuses on mutual benefit. It's a model for how the world should work together, lifting each other up, not holding each other back. This deal is bigger than Burkina Faso. It's bigger than medicine. It's about Africa stepping onto the global stage as a leader, not a follower. For too long, Western media has portrayed Africa as a continent in need of saving. But this partnership shows the world that Africa is done begging. Africa is building. Western pharmaceutical companies are watching closely, and some are worried. For years they've controlled the global medicine market, charging high prices and keeping Africa dependent. But now, with Burkina Faso leading the way, Africa is moving toward independence. Other African nations are taking notice, and many are eager to follow Burkina Faso's example and partner with countries like Canada. This deal supports the African Union's Agenda 2063, which calls for health sovereignty and the creation of the African Medicines Agency, AMA. The AMA will help regulate drugs across the continent, ensuring quality and safety. With Burkina Faso's new industry, Africa will produce, regulate, and distribute its own medicines on its own terms. At the heart of this revolution is President Ibrahim Traore, a leader who's being called the health liberator of Africa. His bold vision and fearless leadership have made this deal possible. In a speech that's now going viral, he declared, "No more shall we wait for handouts of expired drugs. Africa will produce life with dignity." Traore's leadership is inspiring a movement. Young people across Africa are rallying behind hashtags like Pharma for Africa and Ibrahim Traore 2025. They see him as a symbol of hope, proof that Africa can lead in high-tech industries like biotechnology and manufacturing. Under his leadership, Burkina Faso has rejected neo-colonial systems and embraced partnerships based on respect and equality. Traore's vision goes beyond medicine. He's building a future where Africa is a global player, not just a market. He's showing the world that African talent, African resources, and African determination can achieve greatness. As one young Burkinabe said on social media, "This is our time. We are not just dreaming, we are doing." This is just the beginning. The Burkina Faso-Canada partnership is a spark that will ignite a fire across Africa. Other countries are already looking to join the movement, inspired by Burkina Faso's success. The pharmaceutical megacity will serve as a model for how Africa can lead in science, technology, and innovation. At Africa Blee News, we're committed to bringing you the truth, the vision, and the rise of a continent that's no longer silent. This deal is proof that Africa is done waiting. From high-tech labs to thriving economies, Africa is building a future that's bold, proud, and unstoppable. So grab a seat, hit that subscribe button, and join us as we watch history unfold. This is more than news, it's a new chapter in Africa's story. Burkina Faso is leading the way, and the world is watching. Stay bold, stay African, and stay woke. Let's take a closer look at what this $50 billion deal will actually do. The project is massive, and it's designed to transform Burkina Faso into a hub for healthcare and innovation. Here's a breakdown of the key components. 1. State-of-the-art manufacturing plants. The heart of the project is a series of modern factories that will produce billions of doses of medicine each year. These factories will make everything from vaccines to painkillers, focusing on diseases that affect Africans the most, like malaria, tuberculosis, and HIV/AIDS. The plants will use cutting-edge technology from Canada combined with local resources to keep production efficient and affordable. 2. Biotechnology research labs. Research is a big part of this deal. New labs will be built to develop medicines tailored to Africa's needs. For example, scientists will work on vaccines for tropical diseases that are often ignored by Western companies. These labs will bring together Canadian experts and African researchers, creating a powerhouse of innovation. 3. Biotech Training University. Education is key to making this project sustainable. That's why the deal includes a new Biotech Training University. This university will train thousands of young Africans to become pharmacists, scientists, and health engineers. Co-managed by Canadian and African academics, it will ensure that Africa builds its own expertise, not just relies on foreign help. 4. Distribution networks. Getting medicine to the people who need it is just as important as making it. The project includes distribution hubs that will send medicines to hospitals and clinics across Africa. These hubs will use modern logistics to ensure that even remote villages have access to life-saving drugs. The pharmaceutical megacity will be powered by renewable energy like solar and biomass. This keeps costs low and protects the environment. It's also a smart move for Burkina Faso, which has plenty of sunlight to power solar panels. By focusing on sustainability, the project ensures long-term success. The numbers, a bright future. Let's talk numbers, because they tell an incredible story. Jobs created, over 250,000 direct and indirect jobs, from factory workers to researchers. Economic impact. The industry will contribute 18% to Burkina Faso's GDP within 10 years. Exports, $12 billion in annual exports by 2030, making Burkina Faso a major player in global trade. Vaccine production, over 4 billion doses of vaccines produced every year. Reduced dependence, a 45% reduction in Africa's reliance on Western pharmaceutical imports. These numbers aren't just statistics, they're a promise of a better future for millions of Africans. The reaction to this deal has been electric. Across social media, Africans are celebrating this historic moment. On X, users are sharing their pride with hashtags like Africa Heals Itself and Burkina Rising. One post read, "For the first time, I feel like Africa is in control of its own destiny. Thank you, Burkina Faso." In villages and cities, people are talking about what this means for them. A mother in rural Burkina Faso said, "I won't have to worry about finding medicine for my children anymore." A young student in Ouagadougou, the capital, added, "I want to study biotechnology and work in those new labs. This is my future." Leaders from other African countries are also taking notice. Kenya, Nigeria and Rwanda have already expressed interest in buying medicines from Burkina Faso's new industry. This deal is uniting Africa, showing that when one country rises, the whole continent benefits. The world is watching, and not everyone is happy. Western pharmaceutical companies, which have long dominated the global market, are feeling the pressure. For years, they've made billions by selling expensive drugs to Africa. Now, with Burkina Faso producing its own medicines, that monopoly is under threat. Some Western media outlets have reacted with what can only be called silent shock. While a few have praised the Burkina Faso-Canada partnership, others are nervous about Africa's growing independence. But Africans don't care about the naysayers. As President Traore said, "We are done begging, we are building." This deal is also a win for global cooperation. Canada's Prime Minister called it a new model for working together. It's a reminder that the global South Africa, Latin America, and parts of Asia can trade and grow without relying on the West. This is South-South cooperation at its best, and it's lifting millions out of poverty and dependence. This is your moment, Africa. The Burkina Faso-Canada deal is proof that the continent can lead, innovate, and thrive. It's a call to every African, young and old, to dream big and work hard. The future is not imported, it's built right here with African hands, African minds, and African pride. At Africa's B News, we're here to tell the real story of Africa's rise. We're not just reporting news, we're sharing a vision. So like, share, and subscribe to stay part of this incredible journey. The pharmaceutical revolution in Burkina Faso is just the start. What's coming next is even bigger. Stay bold, stay African, and stay woke. The $50 billion Burkina Faso-Canada pharmaceutical deal described above has not yet happened, but it represents a powerful dream shared by millions across the African continent. It reflects the hopes of a generation that refuses to be defined by poverty, dependency, or despair. Africans are not just imagining a better future, they are building it, brick by brick, vision by vision. This story is a call to action, a spark meant to ignite minds and inspire leaders. Let this be a message to the world. Africa is ready, ready to rise, ready to lead, ready to heal itself. Stay bold, stay African, stay woke, and never stop dreaming of a continent where fiction becomes reality.